T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff.
Live from somewhere deep in the Freedom State of Florida, it's the Let's Be Frank Show with your host, Frank.
2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about a transition, there's been no transition from when I won. I won that election. And if you look at crooked Hillary Clinton, if you look at all of the different people, there was no transition because they came after me trying to do a coup. They came after me spying on my campaign. They started from the day I won and even before I won, from the day I came down the escalator with our first lady. They were a disaster. They were a disgrace to our country. And we've caught them. We've caught them all. We've got it all on tape. We've caught them all. And by the way, you gave the idea for the Logan Act against General Flynn. You better take a look at that because we caught you in a sense. And President Obama was sitting in the office. He knew about it too. So don't tell me about a free transition.
2 minutes.
So when I listened to Joe talking about
Hey guys, welcome back to the another edition of our Freedom Stream. I'm glad to see all of you guys here today. It is great to be part of a Tuesday night Freedom Stream. And of course, all the talk is about Obama, Biden, and all of the deep state characters who have participated in the coup against President Trump. And this, if you guys don't remember, was from the 2020 debate between Biden and Trump when Trump laid it all out. Even then, back in 2020, saying we have it all. We caught you. You were part of this cover up. You were part of this coup, Joe. And so, of course, things are starting to heat up in the realm of the deep state. Tulsi Gabbard being the tip of the spear on this one, where she has has decided to go ahead and go up against Obama. People never would go up against Obama, but now Tulsi Gabbard, being fearless as she is going up against him. The Obama library or the Obama press office or whatever, they put out a statement earlier today basically saying, oh, we didn't have anything to do with the coup, and this is all just a big conspiracy, and they're just slandering us, and et cetera, et cetera. And Tulsi's like, yeah, no, we have the evidence. We have the evidence, and I'm going to drop more of it. More is going to come out. And of course, the indictments are being put, or the criminal referrals are being put on Pam Bondi's Bermuda Triangle of a desk as we speak. And there are going to be movements. So we'll see what happens here as this goes. But to speak of course, Tulsi Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard tonight, where she was on this morning or today, talking about what's currently coming down the pipe for Obama. So here's this where she was talking about what was happening here with Obama and with his response, and talking about what's coming down the pipe. Let's take a listen.
We will be releasing further documents tomorrow that will refute that statement. And I would go back and point to, and we will be pulling a whole host of statements that were made by the Obama administration, by Hillary Clinton, by senior Democrat officials, by their friends in the media that state over and over again, after this January 2017 manufactured intelligence document was created, that repeat the narrative. And I'm looking at my notes here. New York Times says Russian hackers acted to aid Trump in the election. Obama's CIA director John Brennan says there is strong consensus among us to support the CIA claim Russian hackers aided Donald Trump's election. Hillary Clinton said, I would be president if not for the Russian hackers supporting Donald Trump. So there is a vast body of evidence and intelligence that debunks and refutes this statement you've just read and others coming from some of the Democrat leaders in Congress today.
And she didn't stop there. She was also on with Laura Trump earlier today as well, talking about this exact thing in regards to Obama and his role in all of this. And here's this video of Tulsi again, just laying it out for Laura Trump here and the viewers. Let's take a listen.
Give me your response to what we heard from former President Obama there. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, and the documents that we will be releasing later this week that point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment, is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton. And it wasn't until after that pulled President's Daily Brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's DNI James Clapper to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment that detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to, is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today and their friends in the propaganda media. None of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, a 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election, that completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Laura, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time, yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence whether or not that information or intelligence was accurate and could be used for an assessment. There's a long laundry list of facts and intelligence reporting that directly contradict the statement coming from President Obama's office and those who are trying to deflect away from what actually happened, which was after Donald Trump was elected, led by President Obama, there was an effort to create a document that would serve as a foundation for what would be a years-long coup against President Trump, therefore trying to subvert the will of the American people who sent him to the White House in 2016.
Yeah, no, absolutely. With regards of what Tulsi Gabbard's talking about here with his involvement with the Russia Gate, the whole Steele dossier, the whole changing of the Intelligence Committee's assessments on what was taking place in that 2016 election prior to that meeting in the White House in January. Of course, all the intel agency says there was no way that Russia could interfere with the election. There was no way they could hack the election. There was no way they could do any of that until President Trump won the election. And Hillary Clinton's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the American people don't like me. And that can't be it because I'm the most beloved woman in America. I'm the smartest woman in America. And And so they decided to go ahead with their partners in the Senate, Republicans and Democrats alike, and of course, all of the intel agencies on board. They came together in that January meeting and came together and came up with this plan to go ahead and say, yeah, it was Russia, and we're going to hamstring President Trump's administration from this point forward, doing everything we can in order to either get him kicked out of office or minimize the effectiveness that he can have as being president. And that's what they did. They went to work. They crafted this entire narrative. They used their partners in the media. They used their partners in the intel agencies. They used foreign nations in order to help sow these seeds, in order to have a full frontal assault on President Trump when he was sworn into office. President Trump, at the very top of this stream, with the video I showed you where he was in with Biden, talked about that exact same thing. It was from the time he came down that elevator that the attacks were launched, that the plans were putting in hatch. Remember Peter Strzok and his lover there in the FBI talking about Lisa Page, how she was asking, you're not going to let Trump win. Oh my gosh. And he's like, oh, don't worry. We have an insurance policy for this. We got everything wrapped up, and Trump is not going to win. And we're going to stop him from being any type of effectiveness in the office. And that's what they did. It was a full frontal assault. So the only way we solve this, the only way that we gain any trust back into the institutions anyway, and of course, I'm not being a total white pillar here. I'm not doing a black pillar. You know, we have to obviously temper our expectations. We want arrest. We want people to go to prison. And I think that's only the one way that we gain trust back into some of these institutions. But I'm not naive enough to understand that that may not happen. And we still have to wrestle with that result. What if this does not happen? What if people don't go to prison? We still have to wrestle with that. However, we can continue to push on the front here, and hopefully Trump will push Pam Bondi and the rest of the intel agencies and the FBI and the DOJ and these institutions to do the right thing. They have the evidence. They have the stuff. Jesse Kelly sums it up best when he talks about this, which he did earlier today. And I'll play that for you guys here in just a moment. But he sums it up very well here. And if you guys haven't listened to Jesse Kelly, he is an awesome guy to listen to. But let me go ahead and put him up on the screen. And let's take a listen to what he says here about the deep state and about the condition where we are and what needs to happen. Because if we don't have accountability, we're never will be able to move forward. And that, unfortunately, is the hard truth. Let's take a listen.
These have to be big time arrests. We're talking directors, Central Intelligence Agency, FBI, and Barack Obama himself. And don't tell me that that's too far. The precedent has been set. I can show you Donald Trump's mugshot. The second the communists took power, they had Donald Trump arrested in every jurisdiction in the United States of America. They tried to blow his head off and send him to prison for 90 years. So don't tell me former presidents are untouchable. No, sir. The president of the United States of America cooked the books on his orders of intelligence in order to create a false narrative about the incoming president who was about to be sworn in. He used the Central Intelligence Agency like it was the DNC. He used the FBI like it was the DNC. He used the DNI like it was the DNC, politicking with his office. That is a crime so severe, Barack Obama should never see the light of day again. He deserves a trial, a fair trial, a public trial, because that's what the American people deserve. And then he deserves to go to prison for the rest of his natural life. And not just because I hate him, but because the next time we get a scumbag like that in the Oval Office, he has to look at Barack Obama rotting in Fort Leavenworth and say to himself, well, I guess the CIA probably isn't my political arm, so maybe I should back off of that. This moment, I'm not just saying this for radio purposes, is everything for this country. I do not believe we can hold the United States of America together if these people don't go to prison. because the American people do not believe in their institutions anymore. That ship has already sailed. And in order to earn back institutional trust, there is only one thing that works. There's not two, there's only one: accountability.
Absolutely. Accountability. It's what we've been talking about here over the last couple weeks, is talking about accountability for Epstein, accountability for COVID, accountability for the Spygate, accountability for the 2020 election, accountability. This is the only way you're able to regain trust in institutions across the country, is that you have these arrests. And as he said, major arrests, big players arrests, not just these low level throwaway individuals within the administration that will sit there and happily serve time for the commies. No, you have to go after the big players. You have to, as he mentioned, the directors, and this is what I've talked about. I'm glad that Jesse Kelly was listening to my show then, because this is what we've been talking about for the last couple weeks. Accountability, and that's all of it, right? The Epstein files, all of this. Accountability across the board. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. If you were involved in a plot against the United States, a plot against the American people, there is only one solution, and that is accountability. That is you going to prison for that. That's step one. That is how you start regaining trust for these institutions of the country. If not, that, again, as Jesse Kelly said, the ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. No one has trust in the institutions. Nobody trusts these institutions at all. I don't trust these institutions. And the only way you start gaining trust back, it's actually doing those things by arresting these people. Because as Jesse Kelly said, I'm going to refer to him again here, as he said, the next guy that gets in office is going to have to look at that dude rotting in a federal prison over there and says, maybe I shouldn't establish coups against the American people in this nation, because if I do, what do you think is going to happen to me? And that is the fear we need to put in politicians again. Politicians are not fearful enough anymore. They've lost contact with the American people. They are not in that type of situation that are where we were in our founding, where we knew our representatives very well, very well. Now they don't even know your name. They don't care. They don't care what if you voted for them or not. In most cases, all they're going to go to Washington is serve their donors, and that's what they're doing. They go to DC to serve their donors, serve their foreign donors. It doesn't matter. That's who they're going to serve first before they even think about serving anybody in the country. And if their donors say, yo, we need to take out this president by any means necessary, well, guess what? They're lining up to make sure they do that exact thing. This is the problem we've had. And this is the solution that we need to have: accountability, people that need to go to prison. Our politicians are not fearful enough. They do not fear the American people enough. They should be fearful of the American people. Why? Because we are their bosses. They believe they're above the law. They believe they're above accountability. And until we see accountability for these individuals, it's going to continue to happen. And the trust that was in any of these institutions is way gone, and it will never come back. And the place we go from that point is not a very good place. And that's what we're going to continue to see as we continue down this road. So Trump has a moment. He has a moment to do the right thing. We want him to do the right thing. We want him to ensure the DOJ does the right thing. Because if you don't seize this moment, you will never get another chance at it. There will never be another chance for this moment right now. If he passes on this moment, and if he decides to not pursue Obama and the rest of the shady bunch, like he decided not to pursue Hillary in his last administration, they will be let off scot-free, and nothing will change moving forward. That is what needs to happen. President Trump needs to seize the moment. He's talked a big game. He's put out the memes. He's put out the truth socials. The hunted has become the hunter, right? Obama, what he had done is treasonous. What Hillary has done is treason. The gauntlet has been thrown down. We've crossed the line. So either he seized the moment, seizes it today, or it's going to be way worse for him when he leaves office. It's going to be way worse for him when he leaves office. If he thinks it was bad the last time he was out of office, just wait till the next time he's out of office. It will be worse for him and those people around him. It will become worse. There's only one way to do this. You have to seize the moment now. Now is the time. If you let this time slip by, it's gone. It's gone. We can defund PBS all we want. We can defund NPR all we want. However, if we don't get a rest for these people who have colluded against the United States, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. So this is the time. This is the moment. Will Trump seize it? Will Trump actually reach out and grab the gold ring? Will he do that? Oh, I hope he does. I hope he does. I hope there's accountability for all those things we talked about. Epstein, COVID, the 2020 election, the Spygate, fill in the blank, the Michigan hoax, right? The January Sixers, everything that we saw take place over the course of the last 8 years. There needs to be a reckoning. There needs to be accountability. There needs to be arresting. This is the moment. This is the moment now. If Trump falters now, it will not be good. It will not be good for him. Personally, it will not be good for the rest of the country. That's what will take place. That's what's going to happen. So I agree with some of the comments in this section here. I agree that if it doesn't happen, what was all this for anyway then? I have hope that it will. But I also am a realist and know it may not. Prison is what they deserve. Maybe something else as well. But prison, definitely. They definitely deserve prison for a long time. For a long time. Does that mean that we will head into a civil war? I think someone wrote that up today. I was looking on Twitter feed. Somebody's like, is this going to be enough to send us into a civil war? I don't know. I don't know if it is. The White House tweeted out this here earlier today. I like it. Again, like I mentioned, we have to be prepared for this, right? So here's what they tweeted out earlier today. This is from the official White House. Congratulations, you've unlocked the deep state Russia starter pack. Obama, deep states, of course, the media, arrest, Obama, fake reports, Hillary, birth certificate. Is that what I'm guessing that is? Birth certificate, mail-in ballots, the 2020 election. So, it's great that they're tweeting this out. It's great that they're doing that, but if there's nothing that comes of it, it's just empty memes, right? It's just empty memes. It's, we owned the libs for a day. Oh, we made them mad for the day. Dude, I want to do more than just make them mad. I want to break them. I want to break them. I don't want to just make them mad for the day. Oh, did you see that meme? Dude, it's way deeper than that. It's deeper than that. We sit there and we have too many people on our side who just believe memes are going to win it for us. Memes isn't going to win it all for us. It may be helpful in the cultural battle that we're in. However, that isn't going to prosecute anybody. That's not going to arrest anybody, and that's not going to put people in prison. However, it does do good things in respect to the online culture war that we fight daily on of course on social media as we share memes and we work to do things. However, if we don't arrest these people, this meme is worthless. This meme is worthless. The trolling is worthless if we cannot arrest anybody. So we have to look at what we have here in front of us. And are we going to arrest people? That's all I want to know from the White House right now. Are we going to arrest people? Tell me. Yes? Great. I will be 100% behind you. But don't sit there and pull our chain along the way, making it seem as though you're going to arrest somebody, and then you never do. We had enough of the Jeff Sessions slow walker. We had enough of the John Durham coming to get you. We had enough of the Bill Barr Q drops or whatever it was. We had enough of all those. That right there got so many people to get their hopes so high about so many things that, just trust this and trust this and trust this and trust this. And before we knew it, we lost the election in 2020. Yes, by cheating, but it was still a loss. And we were out of power. And people were mad. People were angry. I remember I did the live stream the day after the election. People were angry. I was there January 6th at the Capitol. People were angry. I was there in November or December. It was December to stop the steal rallies, covering them. People were angry. They're like, when is he going to drop this? When is he going to drop the evidence? When is he going to direct the DOJ and the FBI to go ahead and arrest these people? People were angry. Still angry in some sense. So it's great that we posted memes. It's great that the White House is doing this. But it's empty gestures if nothing gets done. I remember this because I was an active part in covering all of this for so long. I'm a stream veteran, if you will. Been doing this a long time. I remember starting out and being part of this online community and starting my channel and really trying to gain steam. I remember going to DC and covering events and doing whatever I could to really try to really understand the dynamics of understanding the people who support President Trump and the movement that was there at the time. And I remember meeting people like Salty Cracker early on. I remember him when he and I had the same size channel. We were both at 30,000 subscribers together. It was me, him, and Meme to Left. If you guys know Meme to Left, all three of us talking, and we've had communications and stuff like that. He shouted me out on his channel many times when he was just skyrocketing over here on YouTube, which was fantastic. I appreciate that. I always tell people to go watch his stuff too, because I don't have no 800,000 people following me, but I always still put people toward. I wear his merch still because I admire his work. But that right there, of everything we've seen, everything I've been through personally, doing this and following this and keeping up with it. I have people in my hometown that I live in come to me all the time, or would come to me. Frank, what do you think about this? What do you think is going to happen about this? Hey, have you thought about this? And dude, I would get hit every which way. I would go to a football game, high school football game, people would talk to me about it. I'd go to a basketball game, people would talk to me about it. It was never, hey, Frank, how are you doing? How's the kids going? No, it was normally, hey, Frank, did you see that with the whole thing with President Trump and da-da-da-da? And people would just, and trust me, I did love it. I loved it. I loved every second. Don't get me wrong. I did love it. but I wanted to make sure I was being honest with people in real life and honest with people on air, as far as what I think is going to happen. I want arrest to happen. Should arrest happen? Yes. But when we have the official White House account on Twitter putting this out, this is either we're going to do something or we need to get off the pot. And I really want to hope that Trump is pushing Bondi in that direction, saying, hey, we have to do something. Something has to happen. Tulsi is giving you the criminal referrals. Take them, get them in front of a grand jury. Let's go ahead and get this ball rolling. Let's get the ball rolling on this stuff. And that is how we start moving this forward. There's so much we got to take and filter and look at and see what if it's just trolling. Is he being serious? People talk about him playing 4D chess or 3D chess or whatever chess, right? And yes, I'm sure there is a method to his thinking about how he approaches certain things. And yes, sometimes people overreact when he says something off cuff and they're like, oh, that's secret coded message for something else. And when it really isn't. And that's when people go off into the weeds and they get lost and we never see them again. And when they do resurface, they're absolutely just, spewing out things. They're like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about because that's not happening right now. They're like, oh no, it's a secret trial that was underneath the ground. And those people you're looking at are just clones. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if that's true, guy. Not saying that's not possible. I'm not saying that isn't possible. Could absolutely be possible. But I'm just saying, I don't think it could be. And so that's what we have. So we have the White House putting out stuff like this. And, dude, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. I want to see more of it. But along with that, I actually want to see Obama in handcuffs. I want to see Hillary in handcuffs. I want to see James Clapper in handcuffs. I want to see John Brennan in handcuffs. Susan Rice in handcuffs. Valerie Jarrett in handcuffs. Alexander Vidman in handcuffs. Tony Fauci in handcuffs. The list goes on and on. Mark Milley in handcuffs. Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi in handcuffs. Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell in handcuffs. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. I think we're going to need a bigger handcuffs. and I'm good with the trolling. I am fantastic with trolling. I love it. I just want to make sure that there's something behind the trolling. It's one thing to troll. It's another thing to produce. Right? If I'm going to talk a big game, I better show up. I better show up. If I'm going to sit there and tell you I'm streaming every day, every single night, oh, I better show up and stream every single night then. I need to make sure I'm fair to my word. That's the same thing I expect from our politicians. If you're going to call out and say, yeah, Obama needs to be arrested, by God, he needs to be arrested then. Let's see him arrested because they arrested you, President Trump. They gave you a mugshot, President Trump. They put you on show trials, President Trump. They try to bankrupt you, President Trump. They try to blow your head off. And we're just going to let him skate? We're just going to let him get out of here? We're just going to do a little trolling? I hope not. I hope there's arrests that's come along with this. Hope there's handcuffs, people being perp walked, houses being raided at 4 a.m. with CNN rolling the camera so we can see them marched out in their underwear like they did to Roger Stone. Right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I don't think I am. I don't think I'm wrong. That's all we saw for 4 years under the Biden administration. We saw those closest to President Trump getting arrested, those closest supporters of President Trump being arrested, those who were fighting for what was right being arrested, those who were giving voice to the unheard being arrested, those who went to the Capitol to protest, used their First Amendment right, jailed, imprisoned, thrown in a gulag. And you're telling me we have to wait and make sure everything is airtight? Dude, they didn't wait. They didn't wait. They were on it from the time Biden was sworn in. They were on it before that. So, here we are. Arrests need to be made because now we have Tulsi Gabbard providing evidence, turning over files, giving the recommended criminal referrals to the DOJ. Pam Bondi and the desk of the Bermuda Triangle. She now has to move on this. I put a poll out on the channel right now, which you guys have been voting on. Let's see here. We have 122 votes, 123 votes now. 44 people believe Pam Bondi will follow through with the criminal referrals. 44% of you guys who have voted believe that Pam Bondi will follow through. 33% says no, she will not. She will not follow through. And then a cool 23% who are not sure she might do it voted maybe. 23% of y'all. So thank you for participating in the poll that I put out this evening on the channel. Thank you. Thank you. Love it. Love it. Real quick, I have something currently scrolling across the bottom. That is the membership goal for August. I'm trying to get to 50 memberships for the channel. I like to try to hit that goal before the end of August. So we have the rest of July and all of August. So if you're able to become a member, that'd be a great way that you can help support the channel. I would appreciate that. If you can't, if you just hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. That also helps the channel as well. But my goal for the channel is to get to 50 subscribers or 50 memberships before the end of August. So if you guys can help out with that, that'd be fantastic. Again, don't have to. Like, try to hit the goal. Biggest thing you do to help is hit that like and subscribe button and share button. So that's what we have going on across the bottom there. And let's go ahead and continue on with this because we have some more stuff on here that we have to look at with what's going on here with everything. So our good friend Drone Tech over there in anybody watch Drone Tech's stuff? He does some good stuff. I like Drone Tech. He and I have collabed on a few projects in the past. He's real good people. Anyway, he put this out over on Twitter today. If you guys don't know, the Colbert Show is being canceled, and everybody's ranting and raving on the left, saying that this is a threat to democracy because the Late Show is being canceled because it's been losing millions of dollars. They're finally like, yeah, we're going to finally get rid of the show because all he does is sit there and cry about Trump and nobody's tuning in to watch it. So we're going to go ahead and cancel it. And people are like, no, the lefties are like, no, it's a threat against democracy, right? And so you got like the NPR people and the PBS people coming out and talking about this. And Drone Tech makes this observation here. He says this, Colbert objectively did not speak truth to power. He lied about Biden's cognitive meltdown, Hunter Biden's laptop and tax evasion, the COVID vaccines, and Russian collusion. So here's former NPR CEO Vivian Schiller on Colbert's show being canceled. This has not been a great week for free speech and speaking truth to power. She looks exactly how she would you would think she would look. Some lefty from NPR. Let's take a listen. I'm sorry, I'm about to assault your ears, by the way.
Yeah, well, look, this has not been a great week.
Sounds like a guy, by the way, too. Anyway, let me start.
Yeah, well, look, this has not been a great week for free speech and speaking truth to power, without a doubt. Look, the circumstantial evidence, and that's all we have, is as follows. CBS has said that they are canceling Stephen Colbert after next season for financial reasons. At the same time, we also know, as you said in the intro, that it is the #1 show in its time slot. And we also know that the new parent company for CBS, or they hope to be the new parent company, has spent money on other things. So it's very curious, and we have to also make note that Stephen Colbert is unafraid to, again, speak truth to power. He does it in a very bipartisan way over the years. And comedy and parody is an important part of a democratic ecosystem, and the chilling effect is certainly concerning.
Well, he's neither a comedian or entertaining. Dude, all he does is cry. He's almost as bad as the other dude. What's his name? The other late show guy. The one guy always cries. His partner used to be Adam Carrero. Jimmy, oh, I can't think of his name. You guys are going to tell me. But in response to that video, Drone Tech said Colbert objectively did not speak truth to power. He lied about everything. Dude's just a mouthpiece. Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, this guy isn't funny. These shows aren't funny. These shows are terrible. These shows, have you guys watched any of this garbage of late? Probably not. If you guys have any brain cells, you probably have not have watched it. If you're not mentally retarded, you probably haven't watched it. I don't even think the mentally retarded would watch this. It's not funny stuff. It's not entertaining. It's not anything that you would want to expose yourself to long term. You might end up losing IQ points by watching it for too long. It is that detrimental to your health. It should be put an FDA warning on that thing before you're even allowed to consume any of that TV show. That's how bad it is. It's not funny at all. He's not bipartisan. It's hilarious that they sit there and they say, oh, he was bipartisan. He was one of the best bipartisan that we had on the air. No, he wasn't. He never railed against Democrats. He never railed against power. He always agreed with whom was in power when it conveniently helped them. He was always, remember his big vaccine show that he had? He had all the dancers dressed at like big needles, and they were coming out doing all kinds of stuff. That guy's a fraud, man. Dude's a fraud. Nobody's watching him. Not if you're watching him. If you watch him regularly and think he's funny, just turn this one off. Turn my show off. I don't want you watching me. I don't want you watching. If you think Colbert is funny, just turn me off. Turn off the change the channel. Change the channel. I'm not for you, man. I am not for you. Roofing dude. I don't watch. I am retarded. And Neff Guy says they all glazed Fauci so hard. They did, man. You've never seen propaganda like that. Oh man, they glazed that dude, man. They glazed him and the vaccine. It was something else. To live through 2020, 2021 was something out of the Twilight Zone, man. Hey, Kevin, thanks for joining us tonight. Oh my gosh, you guys survived it. You guys survived the propaganda, the heavy propaganda use. Billions of dollars were used in propaganda to get you to go out and get the vaccine. And you guys, some of the rare individuals that are walking the planet, were able to resist a multi-billion-dollar effort to get you to go get the vaccine. You guys are the cream of the crop. You guys are immune to propaganda. You guys already got your propaganda vaccine. You guys weren't falling for that. You weren't falling for what they were selling you on TV. They had the Mayor de Blasio from New York City with his hamburger. He's like, you can eat this if you get your shot. Krispy Kreme was out there saying, oh, you can have your dozen donuts if you get your vaccine. You guys were able to resist all of that. You realize, yeah, I don't need the Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't need your In-N-Out burger or whatever burger that was from. Wasn't In-N-Out. It was what was it? Shake Guys, Shake Burger Shakes. The one that's up there in NYC that he was anyway. You guys were able to resist all of that. And I believe, and I think this as well. You guys might actually agree with me. I think everybody who pushed it, every influencer that Shake Shack, that's what it was, Shake Shack. Every influencer that pushed the vaccine, I think needs to be put in prison as well. Every influencer on social media who sold out to Big Pharma should be put in prison. They should be arrested as well. I'm not just happy with politicians going to prison. That'd be great. That's absolutely all my high things that I would be happy about. But influencers who sat there and shilled out the COVID vaccine and glazed Anthony Fauci hard, those guys belong in prison as well. I want every single one of those influencers, every single one who took money to sit there to shill out that vaccine. Yeah, they all need to go to prison as well. Those people over on YouTube, TikTok, wherever else they were broadcasting from, I want those guys in handcuffs going to prison. I want Sesame Street locked up. I want those guys to be those Muppets to be handcuffed and perp walked into prison. Those guys were shilling the vaccine to kids. I want those guys gone, man. I want them done. That right there, my friends, is the standard I want. We are not the same when I look at some of these other right winger on videos. I'm like, yeah, we're not the same, guys. We're not the same. I want a lot more people in prison than you guys do. Kevin's right. I got Jesus, man. I don't need no vaccine. But it's right? Elmo definitely, he's unhinged. It may have been the vax. I remember. Did Elmo get the vax? I think Elmo got the vax. I gotta look this up now. Did Elmo get the vax? Elmo get the COVID vax. I thought there was an episode that he did. Oh, there is. Yes. Yeah. There was. There was. Here it is. Oh my gosh. I did find it. Let's see here. Take this off here. I'm going to pull this up for a second. Yeah. He did. He did get the vax. There it is. Bam. You see his bandage? He says, now Daddy has super duper bandages. Elmo gets the COVID vaccine on PBS Kids. They're pushing this stuff to kids, man. They're pushing this stuff to little kids. They're like, oh my gosh, we need to make sure we get the vaccine to those kids. Get those kids to say, Mom, Dad, I need to go get the vaccine, just like Elmo. Just like Elmo. I'll be like, what the heck are you doing watching Sesame Street? Turn that off. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so apparently he did get the vax. I was right. I thought I was right about that. I thought he did get the vax. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I have a couple more stories here to kind of get through. Oh yeah, here was the View. They were complaining about Stephen Colbert being shut down as well. I hope they're next. I hope the View is next. That would make my day. That would make my day. I don't know if I would be more excited with the View being canceled than Stephen Colbert. Would you guys rather have Colbert canceled or the View canceled? I'm curious. let's put this poll. I got to put a poll up now. We're going to put a poll up real quick. Let's see here. Who would you rather have canceled? Let's see here. Where or The View? Let's see. Go ahead and put them in. Yeah, you got to pick one or the other, guys. You can't say both. I want both too. I want both. You guys go ahead and just vote there in the poll. But as you're voting in the poll, let's go ahead and take a listen to Sunny Holston over here on The View as she cries about Colbert being canceled.
It could be financial, and I don't know that it's purely political. It could be, but my concern is if it is political, then everyone should be concerned. People on the right should be concerned. People on the left should be concerned, because it's very clear that if it is political, this is the dismantling of our democracy. This is the dismantling of our Constitution, right? And so the First Amendment is the First Amendment for a reason. And that is freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom to speak truth to power. If that is taken away, if the comedians are being attacked, then that means our Constitution is being dismantled. Right. That means the very rubric of our democracy is being dismantled. And I think every single person should be really, really concerned about it. I'm thrilled that Senator Warren, Elizabeth Warren, Senator Bernie Sanders is asking Skydance, is asking for answers, whether or not this was political. The Writers Guild is actually asking the Attorney General to look into this situation to find out if it was political. And if we find out it is political, what are we going to do as a country? We must protect our Constitution and we must protect our democracy. I think this is bigger than just the cancellation of a television
I think it's
show.
great.
Oh, I don't recall The View being all up in arms when they were trying to cancel Alex Jones. Do you guys? I don't recall them saying that this was a threat against our democracy when they were trying to sue Alex Jones into oblivion. Do you guys, where they were trying to tear down his entire media company? I don't remember or recall The View going to the mat like that for them. Like, this is an attack on democracy. I don't remember that. I do recall many leftists saying that, yeah, that he should be canceled. I do recall many leftists saying, yes, voices on the right should be canceled every single time. And God bless. I have a friend, Rob Noor of America, and bless his heart, he's awesome. I like him. He's a nice guy. But he's one that will like, I'll never advocate for my leftist friends' voices to be canceled. And hey, I respect his opinion. I'm, however, on the other opinion. Yeah, I want their voices gone now. We're at that point. I want their voices gone. I want their voices done. I saw what they did to those on the right many, many times. I was a victim of one of those times. And so were other people you probably watch. They go out and they attack these channels. They get them taken down. They get them demonetized. They do everything they can in order to take these channels down. And there's no remorse. There is no, oh, this is an attack against democracy. They're like, ha, 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 go build your own YouTubes, right? Or whatever. Go build your own Twitter. And they celebrate. Yeah, I'm not above calling for them to be canceled anymore. I'm not above them actively saying, yeah, we should cancel them as well. Yeah, that's where I am politically at this point now. I am excited that we would sit there and take down channels that belong to leftists or TV shows that belong to leftists. I am all about that now. That's where we are. I know Rob Noor. He's a good guy. Love him. And he'll go to the mat for his lefty, the people that, he debates and stuff, and he doesn't want them to lose their freedom of speech and things like that. And, he'll fight that good fight. I'm way beyond that point. I'm like, yeah, cancel him. Cancel him. Cancel him. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Cancel him. That is where we are. As we really are. I saw we had JJR over there on Rumble. Hey man, thanks a lot for tuning in over on Rumble. I saw you come on in. Did get a chance. Thank you to all my peeps who are watching over on Rumble. Like you guys over there. Thank you guys so much for making it a welcoming platform for everybody over there as people go on. So thank you, thank you. Yeah, you did. You did tell me you would make it tonight. Yes, you did. Thank you for being here this evening, JJ. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you watching. So yeah, that's what we have tonight. Again, we got a lot to still more cover. We got some more live streams throughout this coming week. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday upcoming live streams. So all 10 p.m. So I hope you guys would tune in to those live streams that we have upcoming for the next few days. Don't forget, if you're not a member of the channel, want to help me meet that goal. My goal is 50 by the end of August. I would love to hit that goal by the end of August. So if you want to become a member, there's 3 tiers. The least expensive tier is only $5. So if you could spare $5, that'd be fantastic. If not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. And most of all, hit that share button. Share it out over onto Twitter, Truth Social, maybe Telegram, or wherever you guys might be, wherever you guys gather. Even Comic Book over there, Facebook as well, helps as well. So all that cool stuff. So anyway, well, I appreciate all of you guys this evening. Another great Freedom stream. We will pick up again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern time for another edition of the Freedom Stream. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I will see you guys tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Check out some videos that will be put out later. I hope you guys will like them, share them, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great night.